WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett Memphis, part of the Memphis Sports Network with 92.9 FM ESPN, ESPN 790 AM.
Watch the sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time. Take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it all. Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it all. Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And you probably heard Dennis Fuller lead us in there. Don King singing our theme song, which I think is the best theme song of any outdoor show in the United States. Greg Ratliff is pushing the buttons with his Whole Foods Market Germantown shirt on. That's just throwing that in. If you're ever out in the Whole Foods out in Germantown, look for Greg back in the produce department. He may throw a tomato at you or something like that.
Artichoke, something like that.
Artichoke, that's what he might do. But hey, and Scott Stengel from the Stengel Brothers Outdoors is in with us. Good morning again, Scott.
Good morning.
And Scott has brought in some food. We have, this next guest would probably like to have some of this. We have jalapeno and
cracked pepper and garlic.
Cracked pepper and garlic.
Summer sausage.
Summer sausage. Whoa, it's good, folks. On your radio dial, you eat it from left to right. Okay, that's what we're doing here. But we've got a young man on the line with us this morning. I got some information about recently from our good friends at QDMA and their Deer Tracker. And we've got on the line this morning, he is Eric Dinger. Is that right?
Dinger.
Dinger.
Like a home run.
Oh, like a home run. Well, I think you've hit a home run, Eric. Eric is he's the co-founder and CEO of Powderhook. And he's based out of Lincoln, Nebraska. So tell us, first of all, good morning, Eric, and welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And tell my listeners out there, we've got listeners all the way to Grenada, Mississippi, all the way over to Little Rock, Arkansas, Jonesboro, Arkansas, all over West Tennessee. Tell our listeners what Powderhook is.
Sure. Well, good morning, Larry. Thanks for having me on. And good morning, everybody. Hope you're on your way out to the duck blind or deer stand this morning.
Probably are.
Well, good. Hopefully Saturday morning, that's where I'll be, too. It's teal season up this way, so we're going to go out.
Ours is going on, too. Yeah.
Try to crack a few teal on Saturday morning. Well, Powderhook. Powderhook is a startup. We're a tech company. Not very many tech companies in the hunting and fishing industry, and so one of the things I like to tell people is we're probably the nerdiest hunting and fishing company.
Okay.
We're a small group here in Lincoln of about 7 guys, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to solve the access problem. And the access problem is a pervasive one in the outdoors, certainly. Many of your listeners probably have this problem.
Yes.
And it kind of spawns from how I grew up. I grew up in South Dakota, in kind of the heart of some of the best waterfowl hunting and pheasant hunting, and then walleye fishing around in northeastern South Dakota. And, Larry, when we moved to Minnesota, we went from – my dad ran an elevator in South Dakota. And when we moved to Minnesota, we went from having –
Hold on. You said your dad ran an elevator in South Dakota. Now
yep.
Explain that. We think of elevators going up and down in a building.
Oh, yeah, grain elevators. So,
yeah, okay, great. Okay, we want to make sure, because we're in the South here, Eric.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that he's not working at one of the hotels and going up and down, He ran a grain elevator. Wow,
Yes.
okay. Oh, that's cool.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
Yeah, the place where all the farmers would go. And so I'd go work with him, and we'd get to meet with farmers, and they'd come in and have a cup of coffee while they were waiting. And so I had a chance to build lots of relationships in the ag community, even at a young age. And that led to Dad and I being able to hunt and fish all the time. Anywhere we wanted to go around is a little town called Redfield. And maybe some of your listeners have been up that way. And if they have, it's probably because they found some of the best pheasant hunting in the world.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so, as a young kid, it was nothing for Dad and I to take off after, he'd get done for the day, and we'd go shoot a limit of pheasants, anywhere we wanted to, road hunt them or, hop in some farmer's field. And then we moved to Minnesota, and just the amount of places we could go went from what seemed like anywhere we wanted to go to almost nowhere.
Yeah, you just had water. You had plenty of water. So
water. We knew the farmers. We had lots of family in the area, so it was really easy. My grandpa lived, an hour north or so, and so we could head up his way, and we had lots of family with land, and so hunting was somewhat easy, and it's probably how a lot of your listeners grew up.
Oh,
too,
yeah,
where,
yeah.
It was you go out.
But now, when you made the move, you became unaccessible then.
Right, yeah. So it went from, hunting a lot to hunting very little because we just didn't have very many good places to go. And then I moved down to Nebraska to go to college at the University of Nebraska. This is where I should insert the Go Big Red, I suppose.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Keep moving.
All right, yeah, we'll move along. I'm in SEC country, I suppose.
No, that's okay. Keep moving along. There's no Brigham Young fans here. Okay, come on.
So, moving down to Nebraska, I didn't know anybody down here. And so, if you contrast coming down to college where I didn't know anybody with how I grew up, all of a sudden I'm in the middle of what the industry calls the access problem, which is I hunted and fished way less because I didn't have places to go.
You didn't have a place, yeah.
So I started a business my senior year in college. It grew pretty well for about 10 years and ended up selling that at the end of 2012 and was kind of in a position to make an investment and start the business that I really wanted to do next. And I figured what better place to spend the next, hopefully, the rest of my career than in a place trying to solve problems that matter to me personally.
Yeah.
And so what Powderhook is we're trying to solve the access problem. We're trying to make it easy to help people find places to go hunt. And that's a nasty, tough little problem that affects lots of people. It certainly still affects me and probably affects lots of your users or your listeners in that they'd probably go more often if they had more places to go. So that's what we're working on here at Powderhook. We're nerds with a passion for the outdoors, and we've built one of the most comprehensive maps ever created of places to go hunt. So I hope maybe your users get on and try it out.
Well, I know, and again, we're talking to Eric Dinger of Powderhook, co-founder and CEO of Powderhook out of Lincoln, Nebraska. And I really like this, that Powderhook has over 500,000, including both public and private ground in every state in 30 countries.
Yeah, so that's where the nerd part comes in, is we built some software real early on that helped us aggregate all these places to hunt. And then we make that map available at powderhook.com/map for free. So if anybody that's listening wants to go to powderhook.com/map, you can find a place no matter where you're at in the country. In fact, we ran a contest one time that if you didn't have a place within 50 miles of where you were standing on our map, we would send you a free decal. And I think we ended up sending two. So,
okay, so there are places out there, and you're trying to give people access areas. How about the name Powderhook? That kind of, I like names of fishing lures. I always wonder how they come up with Swicky Walk and Licky Split and all these things. How did you come up with Powderhook as a name?
Well, it's actually my wife gets all the credit. And frankly, my wife gets a lot of credit for the ability to start Powderhook. She's a successful person in her own career, and that's helped us to continue to invest in Powderhook as we try to get it up off the ground. We were sitting on the couch. So my former company was a digital ad agency. It was a branding firm. So we would get paid lots of money to come up with things like names, logos.
Yeah.
And in this case, it was just sheer stroke of luck or genius on her part. But when we had decided that we were going to start this business, She was actually running on the treadmill, and I was working on the computer trying to figure out, trying to read about this access problem.
Yeah.
And I said, honey, let's do this one. And she said, all right, let's do it. I said, so we need a name. And she goes, well, that's what you do. That's what you've done for a living, so name it. And I said, all right, so when I say gun, what do you say? And she said, I say powder. And I said, when I say hook, what do you say? Or I'm sorry, when I say fish, what do you say? And she said hook. And I said, Powderhook. How about that?
And it was all started with her on the treadmill and you on the computer.
Yeah.
Well,
me
that's
being a nerd and her being a fit woman.
That
and,
is
so Powderhook it was, and it took us about 5 minutes. We had a name. So.
It's a cool name, and it came to me, and I said, how in the world they ever could? Now I can see it. You know, it's easy to do. Well, tell our listeners out there, Eric, how do they can find this the website? Tell them how they can learn all this information.
Sure, yeah, you just visit powderhook.com. Remember, gunpowder, fish hook, powderhook.com. Everything's free on there, unless you want to pay to go hunt somewhere, then we make a little commission off of that. But Larry, I'd love to tell your listeners about our new app.
Okay, that's what I want to get into. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, we've got one of the things that we've done real early on, besides put together this map, is we've built relationships with lots of the sort of people in the industry that have been around a while and who have an audience.
Cabela's, Bushnell's, that's good. That's a pretty good people to the QDM. I mean,
QDMA, yeah. So, when you come out and tell the industry that you're working on one of the hardest problems and a problem that affects everybody, Cabela's would sell more gear, people can hunt more often.
Mm-hmm.
They like to be affiliated with that, and so that's helped us. But one of the things we've done is we've built an app for deer hunters with QDMA and with Cabela's and Bushnell and Sitka and groups like that. And it's a free app. It's called Deer Tracker.
Deer Tracker.
And what it's designed to do is it's designed to help people figure out what kind of deer movement others are seeing during shooting hours. So it's kind of a new way to look at whether or not it's a good day today to get out in the stand. Now, obviously, every day is a good day to get in the stand. But if you're like me and you can only take a certain few days a year off, or you might only be able to sneak out once or twice, our app might be a good resource for you to hop on and see if other people are seeing deer moving during shooting line.
It's pretty cool. I've checked it out, and we only got a couple of minutes. Eric, so they can go to deertrackerapp.com, right?
Yep, deertrackerapp.com, or you can jump in your Apple Store or your Google Play. It's an app for both Android and iPhones, and if you search for Deer Tracker in there, you'll be able to find it. And it's QDMA's Deer Tracker. It's
a cool thing. Well, Eric, thank you, buddy, for being on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And again, folks, that's the Deer Tracker is www.deertrackerapp.com, or you can go to powderhook.com to find out some more information. Eric, thank you. Have a great day, and we'll stay in touch, okay?
All right, Larry. Thanks for having me on.
Have a good one. All right.
Good luck this morning, everybody.
All right.
We'll see you.
Thank you. Let's take a break. Come right back and, wrap up today's show, right? It's moved so fast on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Scott Stigler. Man, my voice is gone here, man. Scott Stengel in the studio with us on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry.